Bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Just a both of them. Out there anyway.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I am a gift, no matter what age, no matter how I look, there's beauty in each stage. I am a gift, no matter what age, no matter how I look, there's beauty in each stage. I am a gift, and I promise every day, when I look in the mirror, I'll say, I am a gift. Between your heart and mine, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Good morning. It's so lovely to see you here today. Thank you so much for all of you who are here in the sanctuary with me. It's wonderful to see your faces and to feel your energy. And for those of you who are watching online on our live stream, we are with you in your heart, and you are with us. Thank you so much for joining us live. And if you're watching during the week, just know that you are always in the right place at the right time right now. My name is Reverend John Riley, and I have the joy of serving as your senior minister here at Unity Palo Alto Spiritual Center. And I'd like to welcome you to our Sunday service. If you're new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a global spiritual community, welcoming people from all walks of life, people who are looking for a deeper experience of spirituality in their lives, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance, people looking to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed today to have with us Rusty Gaylord as our platform leader, Margot LeDuc as our soloist, Russell Norman on piano. And so we will begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us in song today.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. Love, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road to love right now. So I'm choosing heaven today. Oops, joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road to joy right now. So I'm choosing joy today. Let's go home to heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. 'Cause I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. 'Cause I'm choosing heaven today. All right, here we go. God is real, God is magnificent, God is life, God is love, God is real, God is magnificent, God is light, God is love. You are real, you are magnificent, you are light, you are love. You are real, you are magnificent, you are light, you are love. We are real, we are magnificent, we are light, we are love. We are real, we are magnificent, we are light, we are love.
Thank you, Margot, and please be seated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rusty Gaylord. I am happy to be your platform leader today and would like to welcome you all here to Unity Palo Alto, whether you're here in person or joining us online here Sunday or later in the week. Unity in Palo Alto is part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education, helping you apply practical, positive spiritual principles to help you lead a better life. Yes, who doesn't want to lead a better life, right? We have 5 core principles that guide us in this journey of leading a better life. The first principle is God is, that there is one presence and one power present and active in the universe and in all things and in all creation, and that is God, the good, omnipotent. The second principle is I am, that you are an expression of that wonderful power of God, and I am an expression, and it is present in each one of us. The third principle is the law of mind action, that thoughts in mind create after that kind, that we have the ability to affect our world through our thinking. The fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation, because it is through this practice of prayer and meditation that we become more closely connected with that universal intelligence that is surrounding us. And finally, the last principle is the practical application, because principle 5 means that we can't get all this without putting in a little effort. And we put in that effort through the prayer and meditation, through remembering our connection to God, And it means that as we live according to these principles and these truths, we become what we were intended to be and which we already are, which is an expression of God, which at Unity we call the Christ. It is through these principles that we live into our mission statement, our vision statement. I get those words confused sometimes. And I would like you all to say it with me together. It's on the screen behind me. Together. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is. And now for our call to worship song.
Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true. 'Cause I am found, I am yours, I am loved, I'm made pure. I have a life, I can breathe, I am healed, I am free. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true.
And now we have a reading from the Daily Word. Today's Daily Word is joy, and the affirmation is on the screen behind me. I'll read it once, and then I'll invite you to affirm it with me. I carry joy in my heart. All together? I carry joy in my heart. My many happy experiences and memories may lead me to feel joyful, but I know they are not the source of my joy. One of my divine gifts, joy, is a part of my spiritual identity, as close to me as my next breath. Joy wells up and spills over within me when I bring my awareness to my spiritual nature and to my oneness with all good and all life. It is an attitude I hold in mind and a feeling in heart. The happiness I feel in life depends on my allowing my inner wellspring of joy to come forth. I nurture my joy by maintaining a regular prayer practice that enhances my awareness of God and by making time for things that make me happiest. I go into the world grateful for the joy that resides within me, my gift to share generously. The scripture reading is from Isaiah, "For you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace."
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. You say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe what you say to me. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, yes, I believe what you say to me. Yes, I believe what you say to me. I believe. Yes, I believe. I believe. You say I am strong, but I think I am weak. You say I am strong, but I know I believe. Yes, what you say to me. Yes, I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe.
Let's just take a nice deep breath as we feel that energy. Thank you, Margot. Thank you, Russell. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good morning. Well, here we are in smack dab in the middle of spring. Did you know that? Well, it's not quite. There's a couple more days. Maybe I'm a day off. I looked it up because I didn't want to be wrong. Smack dab means exactly. Did you know that? Almost in the middle of spring. How about that? We're like right there. And I'm pretty excited because my garden is starting to, starting to bloom and blossom, and that's my sanctuary in the backyard. And I just wanted to point out the flowers that are on the screen here. I'll put them online for the live stream viewers. Isn't that beautiful? A beautiful expression of the divine. Those are that's an anemone bush. Yeah, I forgot the Latin name already. Something californica. Carpinteria californica. Yeah. I studied for like 5 minutes. But look at how beautiful that top one is. It looks perfect, doesn't it? And then the one on the bottom, well, it's seen its better days. It might be a little faded, but that's what flowers do, right? They come and they go. They're beautiful and then they're gone. And then the rest of the year you've got this bush. And the bush in and of itself is beautiful. We don't pay much attention to it because it's not blooming at that time, but it fills out the backyard. As my landscape architect, my neighbor across the street, says, it's the bones in the backyard. You have to have the structure. And so even without the flowers, the bush is incredibly beautiful. What a beautiful expression of this thing called God, or isness, or divine mind. I don't want to put anyone out. You know, the source of all that is, the allness of life, love, and wisdom, just blooming. Perfect in this very moment. Perfect in this very moment. Even the one that was wilting. Because it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. To bloom, to wilt, to do its thing. To attract the bees, to attract the hummingbirds, to create life. It's just a beautiful expression of this thing that we talk about in Unity. Sometimes we talk about it as this divine impulse, right? There's this divine impulse that's in everything, that's in all creation, that's calling us to be that essence of who we are, that truer self, that flower. The challenge is in the word perfection. Because that word perfection is not real. Perfection doesn't exist except within our own judgment of something. I'm sure if you looked at that top flower long enough, you'd find some imperfections in its beauty. If you're a horticulturist, I'm sure right off the bat you would tell me what's wrong with my plant. Why, there were only 2 flowers, and those were the only 2 flowers on my plant, by the way. The wonder of telephoto lens on my camera. Life is amazing. And yet, even in that imperfection, there is beauty. And so often, we're judging ourselves especially against this scale that we call perfection. Now, certainly in the Bible, there's many sections where it's kind of pushing that in, right? You've got to be perfect. You have to follow the teachings attributed to Jesus exactly this way in order to, whatever. But the reality is we're never going to be that perfect expression within us because we're here as a human being. Now, Jesus, the man of Nazareth, was our way shower. And what he taught was practices in which we can live more fully from that consciousness. But he never talked about perfection. He's just talked about keep practicing, keep moving, keep, moving into your center, meditating like this, praying like this, keep being somebody who can express and teach and help other people rise up in consciousness. So that idea, has been beaten into us in our society and, of course, in media. You see the perfect body, the perfect streamlined car, the perfect, whatever you want to call it, right? That's what we strive for, is that perfection. And yet none of us will reach that perfection because it's all based on someone's judgment. And that's that judgment that starts building in that sense of blame, shame, and guilt within us. That judgment. So I love what Brené Brown said in her book, Gifts of Imperfection. She said, perfectionism is a self-destructive and addictive belief system that fuels this primary thought. If I look perfect and do everything perfect, I can avoid or minimize the painful feelings of shame, judgment, or blame. So it's like that idea of perfection and being right is just a layer on top of that blame, shame, and guilt that's already there, right? That's been pounded in us throughout the ages. Instead of trying to release that blame, shame, or guilt and allowing ourselves to just simply be. And when we rise above that blame, shame, and guilt, we start to feel naturally a more sense of willingness and lovingness and harmony and inner peace and joy. And that's when creativity really starts to blossom, when we're moving beyond those oppressive self states. So this idea of perfection is simply a judgment. She goes on to say, healthy striving is self-focused. How can I improve? And that's good. Healthy striving to improve, to move forward, right? Whether it's your spiritual practice, your health practice, your relationship practice, you're at work, you're studying, you're going to school, whatever it is, you're striving to learn more, to be more, to do more, to rise up into that higher consciousness, that higher self. And that's all good. But when it comes to perfectionism, she says, perfectionism is other-focused. And it's all about what they will think. If I'm saying I've got to be perfect, it's all because of what I'm afraid of what y'all will think. Versus I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn. I'm here to be and to be that flower that blooms and wilts and blooms again and wilts. Because every stage along that is perfect. When we look at it from that perspective of God, of sum and source, of the allness of life, love, and wisdom. See, we're all in that divine pattern, and we will have our ups and downs, and the ups and downs aren't the problem. It's our belief system about the ups and the downs. It's our blame, shaming, and guilting ourselves about the ups and downs, or other people. If we're constantly, arguing about what someone else should be doing, it's a great mirror for, oh, well, gosh, it's something in me, I know. What should I be doing? How can I look at that internally? So remember that self-striving, that looking for something better, something and growing, and celebrating when you're going along the path is healthy. But when you're looking at it from the perspective of perfectionism, it can be very damaging to yourself and to others. This divine pattern is innate within all of us. It's that seed that was planted within you. It's that what Unity would call the Christ consciousness, or I like the term the I am consciousness, right? The I amness of you. This is what was taught in one of the correspondence courses for Unity ministers way back when. The I am principle is the divine pattern of God, which is implanted in every individual and contains all of the elements of God nature. That I am principle is that better half of you, that higher consciousness within you. And it's there. And as they say, there's no place where God is not, and wherever God is, the allness of God is there. So that allness is within you. And that leads us to what really is perfection. It's just simply being as best that we can be in that allness, in the ups and in the downs. It's minimizing the judgments that we have, right? When we find ourselves at the water cooler, so to speak, and judging other people or judging ourselves, it's just minimizing it. And when we find ourselves upset or hurt or in sorrow or in sadness, just allowing it to be without the judgment. That aligns us with that divine perfection because that's human consciousness. And we're all here to express and experience that human consciousness. We all chose this ride. And yet, in that human consciousness, there's also the divine consciousness, the I am consciousness. It's a wonderful polarity that you can use, right? On one hand, there's humble, being just humbled and amazed at the beauty of life expressing, of God expressing, the beauty of the flower, right? The beauty of the bush in the wintertime that still has leaves, the beauty in the relationships, the beauty in each other. Humbled about the magnificence of our universe, and at the same time, powerful spiritual beings. Because that I am consciousness, all of it is within you as well, that you can tap into. And so when you live that polarity, I'm both humble and powerful. I'm both humble in the sight and in the presence of this divine essence. You might feel it as a loving presence. And I'm powerful as a spiritual being to express it, to bring it forth into the world. I'm humble at the sight of a flower, at the taste of a really good wine. I'm just saying. And I'm powerful in that I can create that wine. Well, probably not me, but someone can. I'm humbled from the standpoint of, waking up in the morning and being breathed to life, feeling breath, feeling God move through me as my breath. And I'm powerful in that I can get up and take steps forward and speak with that breath. When we come from that polarity of being humble and powerful, we're coming from that divine nature. A lot of times we try to just lean on the power, right? Our ego, our human consciousness is there for power, and that's where struggle and strife comes in, when we don't bring into it the humbleness of being with God, of being that divine spark that Jesus taught we were, and just allowing it to be through our faith. I love this quote from Lao Tzu, who wrote in the Tao Te Ching, "True perfection seems imperfect, yet it's perfectly itself." What a beautiful definition of perfection. It seems imperfect because we're all individualized expression of that divine essence. None of us are alike. And so we may seem imperfect. And yet we're perfectly ourselves when we live more from that higher consciousness. When we choose to live and ask, and when we watch our thoughts, when we watch our words and our interactions, we become the observer of ourselves. That's when we have the opportunity to just pause and go back to that humility, that humbleness before the allness of life, love, and wisdom. What I have found is that the results are a loving experience, a harmony within me, internally. What I found is inner peace, a time when I can just go into meditation and just reconnect myself and find that inner peace, and then bring that peace out into the world as I'm going. And what I found is joy that Rusty talked about in the Daily Word. The source of joy is within. The source of joy is within. We paint it on the beautiful flowers. We paint it on the joyful experiences. That's our human natures, to apply it as, there's my source out there. But it really comes from your connection to God within, in that moment. That's where true joy comes from. So when we come more from that idea, then our lives become more joyful, more expressive. And we get to feel that energy more fully in life. And we get to see it in other people. We get to spot that divinity in other people, and the things that they do, and the things that they say, and the beautiful smile, and the expressions. We'll spot the other part too, right? Because that's the human nature coming through. That's the ego nature. We'll spot it, but we'll be able to look at it with more compassion, with more understanding, with a more sense of self-differentiation. Here's where I end and I begin, and that's all you. And I have empathy for you. But I'm not going to be dragged into it because I have a sense of self. This talk was inspired by a poem by my mom, the great Unity poet, Joyce Riley. She has one book in the bookstore. I don't know if the bookstore's open today. I'm not sure if it's in there. So the bookstore's open today. And I'd like to share, at the end of the poem, she had this affirmation. I'm going to read it once and just allow it to, simmer in you, allow it to bubble up within you, and allow it to be, real for you. Because life is a gift. It really is. I woke up this morning. I'm breathing. I'm looking at all of your beautiful faces and imagining all of your beautiful faces online. Life is a gift. Life is a blessing. And all life is God expressing. Would you affirm that with me together? Life is a gift. Life is a blessing. All of life is God expressing. That was wonderful. Now I'm going to ask you to turn it up to 11. because my anyways. Really allow that energy to come through. Are you ready? And out there in Wonderland, here we go. Together, life is a gift. Life is a blessing. All of life is God expressing, and so it is. I'm going to leave it, I'm going to leave us, before we go into meditation, I'm going to leave us with the poem, Perfect Now by Joyce Riley. She wrote this last year, and, she wrote it last year. She and I are working on a collaboration that'll be coming out sometime. Perfect now. Let me start over. Every blade of grass and all the stars are perfect, right? Okay, I'm going to start over again. You guys don't mind, do you? Okay, thanks. Perfect Now by Joyce Riley. Every blade of grass and all the stars are perfect now, right where they are. Perfect in my imperfection, I see. I am where I'm supposed to be. Humble before God and strong before man, I know who I am and will do what I can to be a loving, creative, joyful me. Let's take that idea into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and just allow yourselves to relax in this present moment. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze. With each breath, we sink into that harmonizing energy of spirit. Feeling our thoughts and our emotions settle, feeling our body relax, and feeling that harmonic energy of love flowing through us. With a breath, you feel that energy emanating and radiating from your heart space. Allowing that harmony to flow in every cell in your body. Aligning it with its divine impulse. With the breath, we allow that loving energy to expand and to flow freely. Allowing that divine energy of life, love, and wisdom to breathe us, to breathe you. One with Spirit. One with the allness of life, love, and wisdom. We rest in the stillness of the silence. One with the allness of life, love, and wisdom. I feel this harmonizing energy of love radiating from me, expressing out into my world as I marvel in the divine creation of life. Through every experience, I remind myself of this never-ending spring, this source, lifting me up, aligning me with my divine purpose, that divine impulse that is blooming in me. We send this energy out now to all of our friends and family, all of our colleagues and co-workers, all of those who we may have prayer requests for. If there's somebody who you are holding in prayer, I invite you to bring their name to mind or say their name out loud. We surround our prayer chest, both online and in person, with our love, with that harmonizing energy, seeing each person discovering that spiritual magnificence, raising to that level of their divine I amness. We extend this energy now to those who we have put out of our hearts without any judgment, just simply sending loving energy. We surround all of the world, national, state, and local leaders in this love, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And for this time together, for this shared spiritual experience and sacred community that we create, we say thank you, Spirit. And we celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this space and this time and gently open our eyes if you haven't already done so. Just allow that energy, that beauty, that perfectness within you to radiate today. Unity Palo Alto is here to help people discover that spiritual magnificence and live that magnificence every day in your life. We're here because of your generous donations. We are a self-sustaining spiritual community, and we now step into that practice, that spiritual practice of living in the flow of abundance. There are so many ways in which you can support our spiritual community, and whatever way you decide to do that, whatever is yours to do it with love, fill it with love, allow that radiant love to express through you, because it's the love that we give to the world is the love that we receive from the world. The affirmation is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
you, Russell. We here at Unity are a vibrant community. There is always something going on, and want to share some opportunities with you for you to be involved and be a part of all of the activities and the vibrant life going on here at Unity. First of all, right after the service today, there is our quarterly spiritual center update. For those of you in person, you can remain here and join, and if you're on Zoom, it is the same link that we use for the coffee talk. So you can register for that online, and if you're already part of the coffee talk, you can join right there on that link. We look forward to seeing you there. Also, there's been an ongoing series, which is Write Your Story, and we have some date changes coming up, so we want to make sure you know that. It has been on the third Sunday of the month, and in May and June, we have some alternate dates. So it's May 8th and June 26th, so if you've been a part of it, please note that. If you have not been a part of it, mark it down, and you are invited and welcome to come. Finally, we have a note from the Board of Trustees that I want to share with you, and it starts off with a warm greeting to all of you from the Board of Trustees. And they want to let you know of a wonderful problem that we have here at Unity Palo Alto that we literally need your help to solve. We have people who are bringing in delicious snacks and treats and goodies every Sunday for us to all enjoy after the service, and we need people to set up the tables, make the coffee, welcome people when they go to enjoy these delicious treats, and then do the cleanup afterwards. If we want to make this every week, we're going to need some help. The members of the board have been pitching in and helping out on special Sundays, like for Easter, and this Sunday is birthday Sunday, so we'll have some special treats out there to celebrate the May birthdays. But we need help to sustain that going forward. So we need 1 or 2 volunteers to learn and manage the hospitality system and manage that function. And so this is going to, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to connect and deepen your relationship with the community here at Unity Palo Alto. And I know from my own personal experience, I think anyone who volunteers here knows that when you volunteer, you get to know people and you become more a part of the community. So you are all invited to do that. If you are interested in doing that, please talk with Karen Friedman. Where is Karen? Okay, yes, thank you, Karen. So that's Karen. You can talk to her after the service today or another Sunday. And also another board member, Ann Hiley, is on vacation right now, but when she returns, she's going to help get this up and running for those of you who step up and volunteer. So please see Karen after the service if you're interested. Next up, we have would like to welcome you all. Thank you. John put up on the screen where you can find more activities. I missed that part, but it's on the website. You can get more activities, and you can always follow us on social media. We also want to welcome you here. So for those of you who are here in person, we like to save our greetings, our handshakes, and our hugs and everything until we go out into the courtyard. For those of you online, you're welcome to go over to the chat and put in just a message on the chat and say hello and happy Sunday. So we welcome you all. And we'd like to ask if there's anyone who's here for the first time or back from a long absence. If you are, we'd love you to raise your hand so that we can welcome you. And thank you. Excellent. Welcome. We're happy to have you. So in person, you're welcome to fill out a welcome card in the pew and drop it in the silver box at the back of the sanctuary. And if you're online, you can also find a welcome card, a virtual welcome card at unitypaloalto.org/live. And finally, as it is the first Sunday of the month and the first day of the month, we have the opportunity to celebrate birthdays. If you have a birthday in May, why don't you stand up and we will welcome you with singing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you are wonderful. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now. Happy birthday.
Happy happy birthday, and you can stay standing, and everyone else can join you as we sing our song of peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as we are, family all around. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Well, just a quick announcement. After the service, get your goodies. And then I've got about 10 minutes or so that I need to set up before the, what's it called, the center update. So have fun out there and then come back in here when you're ready, and we'll get started right about at 11 o'clock. And there was another part of that announcement. I sent out an email. If you're part of our email mailing list, you might have seen the article that said, "Hold the pickles." Nope, no one's part. No one read that one. Okay, good to know. I sent it out yesterday. It's all good. But so the other part of that is, until we get the hospitality up and running, please don't bring food, because we don't have anybody here to set up, to clean up, and to take it home or to deal with it. So just hold tight on that. And as soon as we get the hospitality up and running, then we'll explain how it's all going to work, because I don't know, but God does. And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Happy Sunday.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Love can build a bridge.